good with y'all? Foster Gamer, Foster Gamer. We are here. I'm just doing a quick sound check. Oh, there we go. Alright, so this is the thought. It's a little bit on the loud side. So I'm gonna bring that to 7.5 and that should fix it right there. Alright, that still sounds a little bit loud. So I'll bring that to about a 8.1 and then that should fix it right there. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3. Foster Gamer, Foster Gamer. Alright. I don't know if that sounds better. Okay. Testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3, Foster Gamer, Foster Gamer. Alright, maybe bringing the mic a little bit closer will do it. So, anyway, so this game, right? How I found out about this game was, well, not just because I seen, Husbando Goddess playing it. I had also just had it on the radar, but then I seen that she was playing it, and apparently they gave her like a strike or something. I don't know if it's gonna be the same for this because it's like a whole year later. I'm thinking like things are gonna be a little bit cooler now, but we'll just have to find out and see, I guess. Alright, so for the most part, I'm gonna just have to be on the lookout. Y'all ain't come here to hear my voice like that anyway. But I think I got it loud enough so y'all can hear me. So with that, let's get this started. I think I've had y'all waiting long enough. So the video contains all the clues to solving the mysteries. Who will be killed and by whom? Watch closely and reason it out. I did that by accident too. So she's 28 years old, mystery writer. Edgy asked her to investigate the Shijima family.
Thank you.
How do I
Eiji!
You're quite the success. You're a bona fide best.
So then Edgy, 35 years old. Wait, what? Yeah, 35 years old. Cell cycle researcher. Tries his family home to solve the mystery. Oh. Okay, so it'll just vanish by itself. So returns to home to solve the family mystery of the fruit of youth and the skeletal remains. Alright. So I'll just rewind a little bit, right?
Eiji!
You're quite the success. You're a bona fide best-selling mystery writer now, Haruka. Oh, here.
We couldn't have done it without your help, Eiji. Thank you.
It's nothing.
You
How do you
should have told me you were coming.
It's nothing.
there we go. So Akari Yamase, 36 years old, pushed Haruko to her debut as a writer. And whoa, I was reading. Reasonable for the Makoto responsible for the Makoto Nashimari series hit. So she's responsible for it? So is she like a writer herself then? Yeah, y'all just give me 1 second. I actually need to turn up the volume on my headphones. Because I couldn't hear shit. Alright. Alright, that should be a little bit better.
You should have told me you were coming. You didn't have to wait in line. Did you really come here for my autograph? Or are you here to see Akari?
No, it's not like that.
Huh?
I mean, let's just say I wanted to see the both of you. Actually, I have a favor to ask of you.
A favor?
Yeah. There's a once-in-a-century succession at my family home. and I was hoping you could get some information for me.
Your family home? You mean that grand estate at the foot of Mount Fuji?
That's right. My family has spent many years on medical research. In particular, how to stop the aging process. It's embarrassing, but I had a huge fight with my father that ended with me leaving the family. And that's why I want you to do some investigating, while pretending to write a feature story.
What are we investigating?
The so-called fruit of youth. It's been passed down for generations in my family and a recently unearthed skeleton.
So
At
instead of
3
finding
p.m.
you,
yesterday, the police were informed that skeletal remains had been found at an estate in Penmamura, Fujimine County, Shizuoka. The remains, of indeterminate age and gender, were buried under a large cherry tree. The police are trying to establish the identity of the deceased.
oh shit. So we got Yuko Shijima, 50 years old, and I'm assuming that's what's her name's mom's, right? That's his mom Duke's, or in this case, well, not his mom. It could also be like his stepmom, I guess, in a sense. So that's who that is. I'm just waiting for the thing to fade out. There we go. Oh, they do have a log here too.
Who'd have thought? E.g., a literary consultant.
Yes. Haruka here writes mystery novels, and he makes sure that all the science is sound.
So, does he come up with the crime tricks too?
No, I devised them myself.
That's amazing. I read mysteries sometimes, but I never know who the culprit is. Is there some secret to figuring them out?
Well, it sounds obvious, but every story contains a mystery. And there will always be clues to help solve that mystery. Just try to connect these clues, and somehow you'll arrive at a hypothesis.
Connect the clues to the mystery.
Yes.
Wait, what's happening here?
Every story has a mystery, as well as clues to help solve that mystery. In this cognitive space, I fit the mystery and clues together like a puzzle. Come up with a hypothesis and build a connected path of logic.
And I'm here to help with the reasoning, huh?
Yes, but remember, you're just an image of AG inside my head.
Well, then,
Let's give it a shot.
Oh, okay. This is a cognitive space. Oh, wait. This is the cognitive space, reasoning space. On the left, you'll find some mysteries already in place, with clues flowing around them. Combine them to advance your reasoning. Okay. Yep, that sounds perfect. All right. Yeah, like I said, I don't be having like the craziest of viewers here sometimes. Sometimes it just be me and y'all. But I always gotta make sure I'm checking to make sure my sound good, yeah. Cause I hate when like something happens that's dope as hell, but then y'all hear certain muffles or whatever. But I'm assuming y'all could assume, like, especially when like I get crazy loud, like it'll muffle me out. But it's all good because y'all probably can at least tell that I'm excited off of something. But this is my kind of vibe anyway, though. There are open spaces around mysteries. Mysteries and clues can be connected by placing relevant. Yeah, cool. So we got clues and mysteries. Oh, I can play this. If I was in this, we go back to turn to reasoning. So I would turn to reasoning like that. But squares how I would check for scenes. Okay. Oh wait, R2 is how you grab it. Okay. Got it, got it. So hypothesis. Clues help solve mysteries. Connecting two creates hypothesis. Create multiple hypotheses to uncover the truth. I get it. So it's like literally doing a skill tree. That's pretty much how you get, that's the point you get. That's L1 and R1 to switch scenes. Left and right to move the path of logic back and forth. Press the R for finer control for finer control over movement. Oh, okay, I get it. The reason is complete when the hypothesis has been created. But first, everything starts off as like, everything starts off as a mystery. Then when you connect clues, you create a hypothesis. By creating a hypothesis, reasoning is automatically become invented. Got it. So from there, bam.
Well, something like that.
I see.
Connect the clues to the mystery and form a hypothesis. That's how you read a mystery novel.
Akari, you are an editor, right? How do you know E.G.?
I met him when we were looking for an advisor on scientific matters. We practically forced him to arrange today's session as well. Thank you so much for agreeing to meet us.
Ryoi insist on it. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you.
I know y'all probably wondering, why you decided to do it in English, even though, like, it seems like the words ain't the greatest sync. For one, y'all gotta understand, my first, believe it or not, because of how, like, I sound, my first language is actually English. My speech is just horrible. Like, how I speak is, that's how I speak. My pronunciations, my dictations, like, all that shit is just, it's just trash. That's the best way to say it. But that's my main point, though. My native is English. So, just like y'all, I kind of rather just hear this in English and be able to put the clues together versus me having to memorize everything they're saying, like text for text. Because, like, shows like this, you kind of rather, I said shows, stuff like this, you kind of rather be able to hear it in your native tongue. Because it's easier to solve the case. I didn't watch like animes and mangas that's like, I said watch animes and manga. I didn't watch animes in sub that I fuck with heavy. But at the same time, it's like sometimes I really have to constantly go back just to make sure I can actually build my own hypothesis and stuff correctly. Because it will be like small details I might miss because of the text. So that's why we ended up going with this.
Oh, that looks very good on you.
It's been ages since I last wore a kimono.
You look so handsome in it.
She's right. I barely recognize you.
Well, I can't attend the cherry blossom ceremony in my regular clothes.
Wait, so are both of them filling them? Or is it just the one? And it just so happens like the other one just is like on a homie type level. I'm curious on that.
It was all laid out for me, and most importantly...
Hmm?
Ooh. So do we just outright just say want to look good for Akari, or do we just say what's most important? No, fuck it. I feel like she's been teasing him this whole time.
You wanted to look good for Akari?
Of course not.
All the same, I'm glad there was a spare kimono for him.
Whose kimono is it?
Actually, this kimono was made for me a long time ago.
Oh, we have guests. I'm sorry for intruding. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
Sorry. Have we met?
Yoyoi's only been with us for 3 years. Or perhaps you know one another from before?
No. There's just a familiar scent in the air.
Let's see, 68 years old, has worked as a live-in housekeeper at the Shijima family estate for 3 years, handling all the housework. Okay. So now we get to see this stuff here. Because I kinda got sidetracked within the story. So yeah, it's just what I thought. So Yoko is actually yeah, what is going on with me today? I think it's allergies. But Yoko is actually the second wife. So we got the Shijimas. So these are a whole bunch of people we haven't met yet. So Edgy is the second son, so he's the middle child. He's the smart one. I said smart. Yeah, he pretty much the smart one. Because the first one is either like... First one usually the one that gets into the most trouble. They try to say it's the youngest, but it's usually the first one. The youngest usually is like either gets in trouble or they're kind of the one that's trying to prove themselves, like because they're the youngest type shit. It's one of those few traits you can't escape from, like when it comes to like family. Like even like I'm guilty of it sometimes. Now we got the analysis. Killer DNA, mystery writer Haruka Kagame's most popular novel. Detective Makoto Nishimari solves murders cases using specific analysis of ancient Japanese customs and legends. Killer DNA is the third book in the series. Makoto Nishima appears in each of the books. Well, yeah, because it's about her, right? She famously says the path of logic lines up. Just before solving a case, the series has seen more than 600,000 copies printed and a movie adaptation. Oh shit, that is lit. So Mount Fuji. I know what y'all thinking, like, because if I remember right, Pokemon has a Mount Fuji too, but Mount Fuji is an actual Mount Fuji, an active volcano, and Japan's highest peak. So yeah, and the rest of that, y'all probably could care less about, but it's good history. Like you learn like a lot of stuff with history. That's like the main thing, like how the past is and how that relates to now. But anyway, trick schemes devised by perpetrators to conceal their crimes. Japan's preeminent mystery writer Edogawa Rampo compiled more than 800 tricks used in the genre. Divide them into 9 categories in his essay. Wait. So is that who Conan Edogawa from Detective Conan, like part of his name was based off of? Because if I'm right, it's like two, like Conan Edogawa was based off of 2 things. I think this was one of them though. But anyway, and then that was already explained to us. So.
That's probably me. I'm wearing a perfume with citrus notes.
Now that you mention it, that does smell refreshing. Anyway, this is our live-in housekeeper, Yayoi. You wanted to see me?
Mr. Shijima asked me to gather the equipment for the cherry blossom ceremony, but I just can't find some of the items.
Let's look for them together, shall we? Iji, I will join you later. Everyone, please go on ahead to the Shijima cherry tree.
So, was that your mother, Eiji?
Or perhaps your stepmother?
How did you know?
Oh, well.
What was going on? By connecting mysteries and clues, you'll create a hypothesis. Okay. So does he come up? So does he come up with the crime tricks too? Proof that Yoko is Edgy's stepmother. So is this the only thing I got? There seemed to be some distance between you two. There was some distance between Yoko and Edgy. As shown by the way she spoke to him. There's a chance Yoko isn't Edgy's birth mother. So wait, are they automatically gonna just give them to me? Oh, here we go. Glad there was a spare kimono for him. Yeah, you always want to have two. She didn't know you had your own kimono. Yoko seemed happy that there was a spare kimono for Edgy. If she were his mother, she'd know that he had a kimono. There's a chance Yoko isn't Edgy's real mother. Oh, okay. I guess we're done here. Oh, okay. No, because more than likely, here's the thing. Just because your mom not gonna know everything, even though, like, let's say she do like said laundry or whatever, she's not gonna know all that stuff.
She seemed a bit distant, the way she spoke to you. Too formal, and besides, she's too young to be your mother.
Very observant, Haruka.
Also, you were about to say something earlier, weren't you? Most importantly, my mother gave me this kimono. Is that what you were going to say?
Yoko is my father's second wife. They got married after I left the family.
I see. Well, she seems nice.
Yeah. I guess.
She was in the house when the skeleton was found, correct? I've got to ask her about that later.
Just remember, you're supposed to be writing about the ceremony. I can't imagine what my father would say if he finds out what I've asked you to do.
What? Is he that scary?
Well, you'll see when you meet him.
Sure.
Well then, let's go see the cherry tree.
Yep, it is definitely my allergies.
Wow. So this is the Shijima cherry tree.
In bloom for the first time in 100 years.
The skeleton was found under this tree, right?
Yeah. Who killed and buried that sad soul here, I wonder?
Killed?
So, every 100 years, the tree actually blooms. So, it's a small possibility that a generation doesn't get to actually see the tree bloom. It's small stuff like that I'm gonna give y'all. Like, when you think about it like that, it's like, yeah, it's, like a small. I hit the wrong button. A small amount of yeah, a generation or two may have not have been able to see this tree bloom because they may have not have lived long enough for it. But anyway, all right, we'll just let them go off with this because he probably gonna explain it.
The skeleton's chest bones had marks that suggested a knife wound, apparently.
But then, shouldn't the police be investigating this?
My father's in a standoff with the police right now. He told them not to say anything until the remains were identified. But somehow, the story got leaked to the media. But the remains are nearly 100 years old, apparently. So the police have no reason to hurry. That's why I want to solve this mystery.
So what you want to know is...
Okay. My whole thing is this. Because he probably already knows, he probably has a feeling who the identity of the skeleton is, right? So he might want to actually know. Well, actually, no. I'm tripping. My question is, why would he want to know the identity of the killer? Would you want to just know the identity of who, like, who that is? Let's see his family tree real quick here. I want to just go backwards. Can I rewind? Nope. Well, actually, no. In this scenario, though, the identity of the skeleton probably would be more important because if you can figure out who the identity of the skeleton is, you can probably figure out who the killer is as well. I think that's the logic they want me to go with. Because the identity of the killer from 100 years ago. Wait, no. Detectives can just figure that out. He want to know the killer.
The killer from 100 years ago, right?
The identities of both the skeleton and the killer.
let's say you do uncover the truth about this 100-year-old murder, then what?
It's of great importance to me, actually. I suspect that skeleton has something to do with the Shijima family's fruit of youth.
You've mentioned that fruit before. What is it?
More precisely, the Tokijiku no Kaku no Konomi. According to my mother, anyone who consumes this fruit will stop aging forever. It's mentioned in the Kojiki Chronicles. This fruit of youth has been passed down for generations in my family. Although I've never seen it, and my father won't tell me anything about it. But if it's somewhere in that house, I'm going to find it.
Okay. So, a false hypothesis, a detective false hypothesis off the rip. Somebody, not his brothers, at least. I can't prove it at least. But like somebody murdered said person 100 years ago and they're still alive to this day. But they probably changed their identity. Matter of fact, they could have possibly been doing this for like generations upon generations. The reason why his pops probably can't tell him is because the Shijima family is probably sworn to secrecy. Being sworn to secrecy means you can't really just be telling like anybody, even like your family, certain stuff, you know? So that's what I'm instantly thinking. It's like, okay, so if his pops was sworn to secrecy, he can't tell him.
And rewrite the future of medicine.
Eiji, you realize it's strange for a scientist to be saying all that, right?
But it is.
Eiji, you...
Find it. And rewrite the future of medicine.
Hold on, go
but
back.
If it's somewhere in... I've never seen it, and my father won't tell me anything about it. But if it's somewhere in that house, I'm going to find it. And rewrite the future of medicine.
Eiji, you realize it's strange for a scientist to be saying all that, right?
But it isn't strange at all. Science offers countermeasures to aging.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
The telomeres at the ends of the human chromosome determines how many times a cell can divide. They're like game tokens, and aging is what happens when tokens get spent.
Okay. Actually, I like his analogy. I like what he made a comparison to. Because so me personally, I'm kind of a religious person, but I'm also realistic about shit too. So I'm one of them few people who still has like his religious beliefs, but he still thinks science actually has a lot to do with shit too. But at the end of the day, it's just how like my religion goes. It's like how it was made or whatever. It's just others in my shit, they probably wouldn't like agree. They probably just like put it all towards the one being or whatever. But who's to say like that one being can't create like this scientific shit? Because to this day, I think folks need to understand it's stuff that can be explained and stuff that just can't. Stuff that we're supposed to know, stuff we'll just never know. And that's okay. That's part of what makes us human. That's part of just what shit is. Like, so in this case though, I'm running a tangent. Like I'm digressing. So in this case though, it's like at first she's saying like he shouldn't, like as a scientist, he shouldn't be like believing this stuff because it's leaning towards more the religious side versus the scientific side of stuff. But he's explained to her like, no, this still is science. Like you can break this down with science still. Whether or not shit's true or not, it's like that science part we've been able to break down, or at least have a hypothesis that's going to be probably like, that's probably going to be just our word for this whole walkthrough, our hypothesis for this. But anyway, I digress again.
But some forms of life.
Actually, let me go back
Many
2
times a
seconds.
cell can divide. The telomere offers countermeasures.
Scientist to be saying all... Eiji, you realize it's strange for a scientist to be saying all that, right?
But it isn't strange at all. Science offers countermeasures to aging.
Really?
The telomeres at the ends of the human chromosome determines how many times a cell can divide. They're like game tokens, and aging is what happens when tokens get spent. But some forms of life have an endless supply of these tokens.
Endless?
Yeah. Cancer cells, for example. They're able to multiply infinitely because their telomeres constantly repair themselves. In effect, they're ageless. That's why it isn't totally bizarre that a fruit might contain components that stop aging.
A fruit that makes people ageless. And it's called the,
I would not know this. Yeah, I would not know this. Boys to this. Under the Emperor. Continues his journey. Okay. Telomeres. Structures containing proteins with DNA at the end of the linear chromosome. They are responsible for the physical and genetic stability of the chromosomes. Telomeres ensuring each time a cell divides, and when they reach a certain length, even cell division stops. I mean, yeah. Okay. So pretty much they, like, believe it or not, y'all, so I've actually heard of theories when it came to, like, I'm sorry if I'm getting a little bit nerdy on this, but so if y'all fuck with anime like I fuck with anime, y'all probably didn't see Naruto or whatever. One of the things with the first Hokage was they always wondered why he died at a young age or whatever. Part of it was like he was able, and Tsunade as well, are able to like regenerate. But the problem was because because their cells and all that divide so much, it caused like quick aging to an extreme. Because like Tsunade, for instance, had like Uzumaki blood, so Uzumaki stay looking young for a minute. So that's what happened to her. So who's to say that didn't happen to the first Hokage? But anyway, cell cycle research. I know what y'all about to say. Like, yo, why ain't you reading the full thing? Because pretty much it's in the title, bro. It's cell cycle research. Pretty much all that I explained right there. So cells do not undergo cell division. Cells do not generally undergo cell division unless they experience significant damage. Yeah, see what I was just saying? Like whenever you get injured or whatever. And believe it or not, your cells slowly get damaged as you get old. That's why, like, yeah, cool. So I'm not. What's good with you now? Shout out to Thanos, D. Joe Star, he in the live chat. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, your cells will naturally age because they will naturally become damaged. There's nothing you can do about that. But what they're saying is this fruit stops that shit. Now, cancer cells are like, they're trying to go into a whole paragraph about this. Cancer cells, they say, are like cells that are not normal, anomalies or whatever. And because the cancer cells, they weaken the body. They weaken the body in many ways, not just by like stopping your cells from growing. They can also cause your cells to grow too much as well. So, I mean, I wouldn't say this is like don't quote me on this. I wouldn't say this is like a cancer like related problem, but people whose hearts are too big. Their hearts grow abnormally. That's not a cancer thing, but it's still like the same principle. It probably was a somewhat of like a cancer cell, whatever, that caused the heart to grow bigger. But that's enough of my shit. Let's get back to this. So
Kaku no kono.
Tokijiku no Kaku no Konomi. Let's shorten it to Tokijiku.
What does this Tokijiku have to do with our skeleton?
I found an account of a murder committed 100 years ago, and it mentions the Tokijiku. Based on the proximity and dates, that skeleton might just be related to this case.
A murder.
I don't know the details, but the Shijima family history is full of unsolved cases, unnatural deaths, that sort of thing. Please, Haruka, I want to know the Tokijiku's whereabouts and the truth behind my family's involvement in that skeleton.
hold on 1 second. Seems like my what's the name? I don't know if it's the poor lip singing, the poor lip syncing, but it sounded like oh shit, I had this shit playing on both ends. Okay, there we go.
Will you help me?
I guess so. Why not?
I'd be glad to help. But where should I start?
I have just the reading material for you.
Where should I start? I'd be glad.
Will you help me?
I'd be glad to help. But where should I start?
I have just the reading material for you.
Reading material?
And it's right up your...
Didn't think you'd be the first one here.
Long time no see, Eiji.
You really think you can just waltz back in here and interfere with the family's succession?
So let's see. We got the 45-year-old medical consultant, eldest of the three brothers, next in line to become the head of the Shijima family. And that man be smoking up a storm. Yeah. Okay. No, we're good. It's just their lip syncing was that off, yo. For whatever reason, that part of lip syncing was so off. Okay. So we'll let that fade out real quick. It was just weird to me because I just was just hearing it on all ends.
You're Haruka Kagami, aren't you? Author of the Detective Makoto Nishimari series.
You know about it?
Of course. Aren't you?
Family's succession?
You're Haruka Kagami, aren't you? Author of the Detective Makoto Nishimari series.
You know about it?
Of course. Look, Kazunaga. She created Makoto Nishimari. You know, with the cool catchphrase, the path of logic lines up.
Never heard of it.
This is Haruka Kagami, a writer, and her editor, Akari Yamase. My older brother, Kazunaga, and my younger brother, Mitsunori.
Nice to meet you. Just wondering, what brings you two here?
Haruka's writing a feature story.
About the skeleton under the cherry tree. I bet a mystery writer like you can't get enough.
This guy must have 0 friends. Yeah, don't play nice with this man.
I don't need to play nice with him. I'm dying to know more is the answer you're looking for, yes?
Given your expertise, why don't you try figuring it out yourself? The identity of that skeleton, I mean. Then you can proclaim the path of logic lines up.
Of course, I'll look into it.
Thank you for having us.
Eiji, long time no see.
Dad, you're looking well.
You look terrible in a kimono.
Then it's good that I'll never have to wear one for work.
Not that you look any better in a lab coat, mind you.
The keys to solving the case will display as clues. Okay. You can... I was already doing this, okay.
After leaving the family, what exactly have you been...
I'm dying to know more is the answer you're looking for.
So not that you look any better in the lab coat. Though they haven't seen each other in a while. Oh, come on. They haven't seen each other in a while. Edgy didn't look any better in a lab. He marked he doesn't look any better in a lab coat.
Yes?
Given your expertise, why don't you try figuring it out yourself? The identity of that skeleton, I mean. Then you can proclaim the path of logic lines up.
I ain't gonna cap, yo. Y'all probably gonna end up having to watch this shit faded, though. That's like the one thing. Well, actually, no, y'all probably will fuck with it still. But it's like, damn. This for the youngins, they gonna be like, yo, why the fuck ain't they get the lip syncing right? But for like old heads like us, we just, well, I don't mean to cause like a divide, of course. But yeah, like old heads like us though, we're gonna be normal about it. Cause best believe I watch a lot of kung fu flicks, so it's like this should just come with it.
Of course, I'll look into it.
Thank you for having us.
Eiji, long time no see.
Dad, you're looking well.
You look terrible in a kimono.
Then it's good that I'll never have to wear one for work.
Not that you look any better in a lab coat, mind you. After leaving the family, what exactly have you been researching?
That's none of your business.
So be it. Welcome. I am Ryohei Shijima.
So he's 70 years old, the head of the Shijima family. Called on his sons to participate in the family's traditional. Whoa, come on, bro. Traditional ceremony held every 100 years. That's my question to that, yo. So does that mean he possibly found a founding youth? In order for him to keep his youth? Yo, that'd be crazy, yo. I'm coming up with too many theories. Let me
And
get
you
this.
must be the best-selling writer.
Must be so. I'm indebted to Edgy for all his help. Best selling is a bit of a stretch. You heard me? Yeah.
Yes. I'm indebted to Eiji for all his help.
So you're interested in our cherry blossom ceremony? This
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Eiji, long time no see.
Dad, you're looking... Then it's good that I'll never have to wear one for work.
Not that you look any better in a lab coat, mind you. After leaving the family, what exactly have you been researching?
That's none of your business.
So be it. Welcome. I am Ryoe Shijima. And you must be the best-selling writer.
Yes. I'm indebted to Eiji for all his help.
So you're interested in our cherry blossom ceremony?
Okay, so okay. You call me as a best-selling. Okay, so it automatically added. That was like the one thing I wanted to know if they added it or not.
This ceremony is an important family tradition, held once every 100 years. Feel free to take part and ask questions, but I ask you not to interfere. We don't usually let outsiders attend, after all.
We understand. Thank you. I promise we won't cause any inconvenience.
To be honest, that skeleton has attracted a lot of unwanted media attention. Such a nuisance. If this story of yours can help clarify matters, we'd be very grateful.
Who's that?
Oh, that's our gardener, Takehiko Kusakari. He's looked after this cherry tree for us for many years.
Excellent work. You should be proud, Kusakari.
It's my pleasure, sir.
Okay, yeah. Alright.
Then let us begin.
No, thank you, Tidy Snip. Take care. Oh, okay, so we're going right into this.
About Ryoe. How much does he know about me?
What do you mean?
Something he said makes me think that...
There we go. He doesn't know I'm a mystery writer. Real thought of Furuka as a best-selling writer. But he doesn't seem to know that she's a mystery writer. Wait, so does it matter if I drag these? Or are these just here just to be here? Oh. Rio told Edgy he didn't look good in a lab coat. Where would he have seen Edgy wearing a lab coat? He must have read the interview in that magazine. That's also how he knew about the writer that Edgy's helping. Okay, see, I'm happy I actually went into that. Because this first part wouldn't have made sense. Alright, let's see. You read that? Yeah.
I think whatever he knows about me comes from reading the interview. He said that AG didn't look good in a lab coat. He must have seen the picture of AG in that interview.
Of course he did. I sent it to him in advance, after all. And I also told him about you, Haruka Kagami, a best-selling writer.
Huh? You didn't tell him I was a mystery writer?
Well, do you think he'd really let a pop fiction writer come in here to do a story about their centuries-old tradition?
I think he would. By the way, where did everyone go?
Oh, they're lighting incense at the altar.
What's the matter?
It's nothing. Just seem to have lost my phone strap. Maybe back at the cherry tree? I'll take a look later. Anyway, what do you make of everything so far?
The cherry blossom ceremony, this estate, the skeleton, and this Tokijiku business. Everything's a mystery. That reminds me, you mentioned some reading material?
Ah, right. This could be our first clue, I think. Eiji found it, by the way.
Shinseinen, the very first magazine to publish Edogawa Rampo.
You sure know your stuff. This issue, published nearly 100 years ago, contains the first part of a novel. The writer's name is Yoshino Shijima.
Shijima? As in one of Eiji's ancestors?
It was supposed to be a serial novel, but for some reason the other parts were never published. And guess what? The Tokijiku appears in the story. This is the 100-year-old murder case that Eiji mentioned.
But it's fiction, right?
It's presented that way.
Shout out the words. Oh, shit, Mike. Yeah, shout out the words 789. They in live chat. How you doing, man? Yeah, I like the graphics too.
Yes, but what's written here actually happened.
So, it's a true story?
Facts.
If
They
you
live
read
what they
this,
rapped about.
You'll learn about what happened to the Tokijiku in the Taisho era.
Alright, I'll get started.
But there's just one problem.
Huh?
Some pages have holes in them, some are missing. It's not a complete story, I'm afraid.
You're right. This looks painful to read. It's full of archaic expressions, too.
So, oh, we got maps now? Okay, so you got the cherry tree here. You got the residential estate. Wait. What's the names? They don't stay in the same rooms? Yeah, I just peeped that. They don't stay in the same rooms. I wonder why is that? The real life here, fam. Yeah. I wonder why they don't stay in the same rooms. That's crazy. Had a little burp there. So the water lantern ceremonies, a lot of different ceremonies usually have to do with the water lanterns. I believe, if I remember right, somewhere they say it's like a thing that like guides the spirits and shit. It's like one of those. So let's see here. That's the boom was led up until. Nope. So that's just some stuff. So the copy of this one, that. So this must be the original. Is it possible to? Yeah, it's the manuscript. So this is the actual original. This is the OG page. But stuff was missing. So I guess like if they ended up doing a remake, or if they just like took whatever they had from that, they probably did that and just never finished it. They did like their own like little ending, but the real ending probably was something different.
But in your hands, it just might be solved.
Huh?
How about imagining the characters as people you know in real life? For example, the young protagonist. She wants to be a writer. That sounds very much like you, doesn't it?
Then what about this partner of hers, Josie? Who would this be?
A smart, somewhat aloof man. Does anyone come to mind?
Is that a fellow writer? Yo, they is trying to ship them like that, yo, I swear.
Agey, I guess.
What's important is how easy it is for your imagination. Focus on that.
Right. And as for the other characters...
You could try imagining them as people from the Shijima household.
The Shijima household. Of course, I'll give it a shot. We first met in the spring of 1922, the 11th year of the Taisho era.
What the fuck?
Industries languished after the end of the Great War, and disease ravaged the country once more. Many lives were lost during those dark days. But that was precisely why we pursued the joys and ambitions of life with even greater zeal. Democracy, the human right to liberty and equality. The flowers of modernity had bloomed, and they were growing out from the skulls of our dead. On that day, somewhere in Tokyo, at the residence of one Ginsaku Goto, a private auction was about to start. I heard rumors that the Tokijiku, the so-called fruit of youth, would be up for sale, and so I was on the lookout for a way in. All for the sake of that fruit.
Masanori! Setsu.
I'm very much looking forward to today, Ginsaku.
As am I, dear Setsu. Well, please come in. You too, Setsu.
Not here.
But nah, she knew game, yo. She knew game. Oh my
Interesting.
god.
I'm sorry.
Could I have that back, please?
Sorry. Excuse me. That's pig's blood, isn't it? What's it for? That's an awfully fancy bottle for pig's blood. We had pigs back home, you see. I remember it well, since my darling pigs kept getting turned into food.
Damn.
You can tell from just one look.
Well...
This is a very precious item.
Probably go with this one.
Is this person going to the private auction? What are you gonna sell it as, huh? A panacea? Or dragon's blood, perhaps?
Who are you?
I'm Yoshino Shijima. You're taking part in that private auction, aren't you? I'd like to attend as well. But I heard that every participant has to bring some item related to eternal youth or immortality. She seems to be an exception, though.
Who?
The woman who went inside. I'm pretty sure she has a special relationship with the organizer. I guess people like her are welcome, too.
Why do you think that?
They touched each other discreetly, so the man beside them wouldn't notice. They seemed used to that. Wait! Don't go. You don't want me telling everyone that it's just pig's blood, do you?
What do you want from me?
Call me your companion or whatever. Just take me inside with you. Please!
Your reasoning is flawed. That woman is a legitimate participant.
Hey, wait!
Are you coming?
You let me in.
You've got a keen eye. It might come in handy.
Thank you.
Ah, welcome.
The name's Josui Kusaka. I heard about the auction from Setsu.
You knew who she was? That's not fair.
Yes, she mentioned you. Josui, yes? Setsu's already inside.
Okay.
And this is?
She's my traveling companion. Please don't mind her.
I see. Well, then come in. Have some tea while we wait for the auction to start. Is something wrong?
No, I better not to say nothing. Make you sound crazy.
It's nothing. I had infiltrated the auction with some unexpected assistance. Now I needed an opportunity to seize the Tokijiku. Let's do this. This is going to turn into a romance plot with Eiji, isn't it?
You mean Josui, right? Not Eiji. You're just borrowing faces and voices, remember?
That's right. Back to the story.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. I'm the head of this estate, Ginsaku Goto. The auction will begin at noon, about an hour from now. Please make yourselves at home until then.
Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Kinu Kotomiya, and I deal in antiques. As you must have heard from Ginsaku, all of today's items have some relation to eternal youth. The items you've brought will be put on display, and you'll bid for items that catch your fancy. It's time to show us how skilled you are at buying low and selling high. I hope we have an exhilarating auction.
I know anything to do with eternal youth is probably a scam, but I just love the idea of it. The romance.
What did everyone bring? Oh, I can't wait.
I hear you're a collector of strange and bizarre tales, Setsu.
Yes, that's why my curiosity is so easily piqued. What have you brought?
Chill.
Dragon's blood. Oh. Long sought after by those in power. Its ability to grant eternal youth is celebrated in legends throughout the world.
Oh, well, dragon's blood. A thing of immense value if it were real.
A shame it's pig's blood.
Well, my item was once kept in a certain Hachiman shrine and venerated as a relic.
So 24-year-old, he's a medical researcher.
Legend says it's the sword of Taira no Masakado.
Lord Masakado?
Indeed. Lord Masakado was beheaded, and some accounts say his head never rotted. One could say that his sword is connected to agelessness, too.
Let me hold it.
Be careful.
That's crazy. 4 years old, collective strange tales. You gotta think about it like this, yo. So, that must be like the worst fate for somebody. It's like you're just like you're literally a headless body, just never aging. Always living, apparently. That's some shit. Hit the wrong button.
To agelessness too.
Let me hold it.
Be careful.
She said, "Let me hold that."
Whose blood does it thirst for today, I wonder?
That's enough, Setsu.
And as for my item, are you familiar with the legend of the Tokijiku no Kaku no Konomi?
It's what Tajima Mori found in the mythical land across the seas, isn't it?
I see you've done your research.
It's my job, after all.
Masanori is a medical researcher who also works for the Army Institute of Scientific Research.
I'm investigating ways to make soldiers stronger, and that includes the topic of agelessness.
Apparently, a certain family has been watching over the fruit of youth for generations.
Well, that's news to me.
But then this family fell into ruin, and all the Tokijiku were lost. Although, I somehow managed to get my hands on one. Look!
Word, this is...
It was indeed.
Word, this is...
It was indeed a Tokijiku. The very same one I'd been trying to find. No, to reclaim.
Everything I've heard. So I thought maybe, just maybe, this could be the real deal.
Oh, you're all experts at this, aren't you? Now then, we can't leave your valuable items lying around like this. We'll store them in a locked room until the auction starts. This way, please.
Let's go.
That leads to the basement.
Hold on a second. Huh? You're after the Tokijiku, aren't you?
Yeah. He knows. He not dumb.
Why do you think that?
If you won't be honest with me, you can go back outside.
Something the matter, Josui?
Ah, I'm sorry. My companion wandered off.
As they always do. This way, please.
Don't think you're off the hook.
Are you sure it's safe to put everything in here?
This door will be locked from the outside, and I'll guard this with the utmost care, so there's nothing to worry about.
What is this?
Oh, don't touch that. That's my item for the auction.
It's quite large.
Indeed. Let's have a look, shall we? Just a peek, though. One careless move, and we'll all be cursed.
Huh?
Yes, it's a mummy. You've all heard stories about how consuming a mummy grants longevity, I suppose. But this is no ordinary mummy. This here is a living corpse. Some claim it wanders the night in search of human blood. Whether this form of eternal life brings happiness is another question altogether, of course.
Let's return to the manor. There's still time before the auction begins at noon. Some light refreshments in the lounge, perhaps.
Yes.
What's up? Oh, yeah, bro. It's a FMV. Yep, bro. Like I was just talking to my homie about it. Yeah, FMVs have made like a big ass comeback. So what FMVs are is it's like movies except for you get choices and stuff to make. So it's more interactive than anything. They consider them games because it's like each of them have like different endings and stuff sometimes that you end up like getting into. So that's the game portion of it. But for the most part, yeah, it's like just chilling watching the movie pretty much. But this one is way more game than a regular FMV though. I'll give them credit on that. They actually did put like a whole lot of game aspect into it. Oh, so do I have information on them now? Yeah, I do. Okay. Storeroom victim's body. Then the mummy sighting. That's supposed to mean. I don't know. So now we got new relations, right? So these two are lovers. Yoshi Kusuka is just by himself. And then you got Yoshino Shijima. And then they're auction participants. So wait, does that mean there's going to be a biasness between the lovers then? Alright, now we got clues here. Dragon's blood. Alright, and analysis. So Tashu error. So just to give, I guess, like a background on this. Both sides with the Emperor Tashino, who took the throne after the death of Emperor Meiji. Era saw broad liberalization efforts often called democracy. So, okay. So if I remember right, throughout history, when it came to like the whole Asia region, including Japan themselves, they were more ran by like emperors and shit. But it seems like the Tashino era was like an era of democracy, if anything. Yeah, which include movements to defend the Constitution, pushes for universal suffrage. Skip all that bullshit. Cause like they're using fancy words and shit. But it was like pushing, like anytime you think of universal, they mean like literally like universal, like usually everybody kind of thing. So as far as suffrage, I don't remember the definition of that, but I'm assuming like laws and stuff to make stuff equal. Like every man can grow up to like do this, can do that. Like every man and woman can just like do this and that. Like, you know, so it's like everybody has opportunity. I think that's what they based that off of mainly. So anyway, after the end of World War I, Japan enjoyed relative prosperity during this remarkable time, which also saw the rise of new media, including motion pictures, magazines from major publishing houses, spread of economic instability. However, it gave birth to many social and artistic movements like Dadaism, which is called for the destruction of antique cultures, It was in many ways an era where new ideas came into direct conflict with tradition. Okay. So that pretty much summed it right there. So one of the disadvantages of the Tashio era was the fact that, like, it's kind of like how folks treat, like, hip-hop now kind of shit. It's like a lot of new heads don't even fuck with, like, the old shit. Some do, some don't. I keep saying a lot. Some do, some don't. So because of that, they don't even take time to learn about the old traditions. So you can kind of say hip hop's going through that trans period. I don't think y'all care about this one. The virus continued to spread. But hold on. So in 1918, a pandemic known as the Spanish flu, ravaged the world while the war still raged on. It acquired this name because of Spain, a neutral power, had lax censorship compared to the strict wartime laws of other nations, which meant the coverage of epidemic was in Spanish media. The virus continued to spread until 1920, 1 year after the war ended. And this is also the era where they started going crazy with the poisonous gas and shit. Oh, and one fun fact, yo. There was apparently a part of this war, there was a battle in this war where it ended up fucking everybody up because they all ended up getting, like, sick because of whatever the other side was using poison wise. I say the other side because I wasn't paying attention to who exactly was, like, the innovator of, like, the craziness of the poisons and shit. But yeah, they did that. But the problem was that ended up going on all sides. So they all had to just, like, kind of be like, yo, you know what? I don't think this is the wave, cuz. Like, I don't think that's the wave, fam. You getting everybody sick and shit. So it's one of those. But, I think that's about it.
What'll it be? Speak or leave now.
I'm going to reclaim the Tokijiku. It belongs to my family, after all.
Your family?
Yes, my family situation is somewhat complicated. My father entrusted me with the Tokijiku when he told me to leave our house. But I didn't know where to go. Then I came down with a fever and fell asleep in some temple. And when I awoke...
The Tokijiku was gone.
Yes. I searched everywhere, to no avail. That's when I heard about this auction from an antiques dealer. I knew it'd be here. But there was no way I could scrounge up what I needed to get inside. That fruit is very precious to me.
I mean, no
I have
shit.
to get it back, no matter what.
It seems you and I have the same goal.
What?
Okay.
I'm also here to steal the Tokijiku. I never intended to take part in the auction. What do you say to working together? We'll join forces to get the Tokijiku.
I know what y'all thinking. Like, I should probably say I could use the help. But my other thing is, like, you gotta be careful with shit like that. You can't... This is them errors. This is the era where you can't just be trusting motherfuckers, yo. These times, everybody wasn't like, even to this day now, but especially during these times, everybody was crazy good with the words. Like nobody was playing around with like being able to trick people off of like words. So
Can I really trust Chelsea? But I can't let it fall into your...
We'll discuss that later. In any case, you still seem to be in bad shape. It's fine if you want to make an enemy of me, but then I'll tell everyone the truth about you.
But...
No means no, Setsu.
Come on, Gensaku, please.
I have a reputation to uphold.
But it's a brilliant idea, isn't it?
I won't allow it. You are not getting this key.
Don't worry. No one will suspect a thing. I'll just tamper with their items a bit, you know? Make it look like mice got into the room. Then, our items will go for higher prices. And we can get theirs for cheap.
I've already told you no. My dear Setsu, don't you realize how crass you sound right now?
word, this man say, yo, I'm not doing that. The game is the game. The game is to be respected and played fairly. Oh, shit, smack the shit up, boy.
You have to understand.
Smack the shit out, boy. Hold on. Smack the shit out, boy. Look at that shit. Bing.
No.
Good ass slap, man. Mac. Man, he died. He ducked that. He ducked that.
You have to understand, Gensaku. I told so many people about this auction and gathered all these items here. All because I want you to live even just a little bit longer. You'll give me the key, won't you?
Do boy. Do boy.
No one can know that you got the key from me.
Nah, fam, I'm knocking on that window ASAP. Bro, I'm knocking on that key ASAP. I said on that key. I'm knocking on that window ASAP. Like, yo, we hear you. Like, you on that bullshit. So the key was given to her. Bam, I know.
What's wrong? What? You're burning up.
I'll be fine. You must get the Tokijiku. Not again. How long was I out for?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Then it's almost noon. The auction will start without us.
It can wait. How are you feeling?
I'm fine. We've got to find the Tokijiku.
Or, yo, she worried about that shit. Fam just like, yo, this ain't like what futuristic shit gonna be. This is now. I'll just fuck them up and take the shit if I really feel like it. Like, it's like, yo, none of them look like they can fight worth a shit. I will square off and fuck them up off rip. Like, this ain't no game.
So will it be? I think it's best for us to work together.
Yeah. Especially after he went through the effort to help her. Because he could have just been like, yo, fuck this bitch, did it, like. But ultimately, he could also be using her. But I feel like he earned the clout for this. And it'd be vice versa, too. So it ain't a sexist thing. Like, if I passed out and homegirl looked out for me like that, she at least deserves a team up. Better to end up in one of our hands than whoever's hands that would have ended up into. So yeah, I can see it.
Fine. The Tokijiku is mine, though.
If you say so. You've got grit, I like that. Setsu hasn't returned yet from inside the storeroom.
And she's alone in there. Now's our chance to get the fruit.
Let's go. Can you walk?
Yes.
The door is locked.
We missed the perfect opportunity. I'm sorry. If only I hadn't passed out.
Who's there? Ah, it's you two. Everyone's looking for you. What were you doing here?
Well...
Just what are you up to?
We'll be honest with you. We saw Setsu ask Ginsaku to give her the key to this room. I thought she might do something to the auction items.
Oh, and y'all see this? Had I probably tried to do this alone, it probably would have ended up badly. But because we worked together, he actually came up with that excuse. Even though he has his own means, in this case, this actually ended up being a good play.
So he came to take a look.
Setsu has the key? Are you sure?
Yes. But she doesn't seem to be here anymore. She must have gone back to the manor.
Actually, she's not there either.
What? Not even in Ginsaku's room?
Indeed. The auction is going to start any minute now. Are you sure she's still not in there?
The door's locked.
Setsu!
Could be a locker room trick.
Setsu! Are you in there? Setsu!
This is... Wait! Is this... blood? Is someone at the end of the corridor?
Yeah, because why would they still be in the storeroom? Storeroom is locked.
It's alive! It's alive! He moved! He moved! He moved!
What's going on?
The mummy! The mummy's alive! That masked mummy, the one Ginsaku brought.
It was holding a sword covered in blood!
How absurd. Are you sure you aren't imagining things?
Yes, I saw it with my own eyes. There were red stains in front of the storeroom door, and they were all along the corridor, and then there it was.
Kinu, have you been here the whole time since the items went in the storeroom?
No, I've just been wondering about the manor.
Hmm. 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 Okay. I'll probably like, yo, what's Fox coming up with? Don't worry about it. You'll know in due time. You'll know in due time.
No, I've just been wondering about the manor. Ginsaku and Masanori also went about their business, I'm sure.
So everyone was in separate places.
Where did Setsu go?
Ginsaku, where have you been?
Oh, Setsu's missing. I've been looking for her the whole time.
Perhaps she was killed by the mummy. Perhaps she touched something she wasn't supposed to, and this is her punishment.
Ginsaku, you gave Setsu the key to the storeroom, didn't you?
I don't know what
We
you're...
actually saw you hand over the key to her. She was going to damage the other items to reduce their value, isn't that right?
I told her... I was against it, but Setsu...
Is there a duplicate key?
No. That was the only key.
The door to the storeroom was locked just now. We saw the mummy outside the room, which means...
I see. That mummy must have taken the key from Setsu and then locked the door.
Wait a minute. What's all this about the mummy?
Your mummy, Ginsaku, might be a real living corpse after all.
Hmm. So, I ain't gonna cap. Seeing blood splatter makes me instantly think that Setsu's probably dead. If anything, I feel like the mummy probably takes more precedence. Because that's the only thing that we have. I get that Setsu's not here, but the fact that it's like we went down there and there was only a mummy there, like, they bugging. Setsu will be found in due time.
I think we should take a closer look at that mummy.
I agree, but I'm more concerned about Setsu for now.
I understand. Let's search for her first.
Masanori. Yoko.
Me?
You're in the army, aren't you? You're probably the only man here who could win a fight. We're counting on you.
Fine.
Well?
I searched every inch of the manor, but
How about the storeroom?
I looked around it, but couldn't get inside. The door is still locked after all.
So why would I go check the storeroom if the storeroom? Because regardless, the storeroom is locked. And what's the name? Only Setsu has the key.
I think we should return to the corridor where we saw that mummy. Together.
Good idea. I want to look inside the storeroom, too. Let's bring something to break the lock with.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't know they was going to think about that. Same.
Setsu!
Terrible! The Tokichiku! It's gone!
The mummy.
There it is. Just a dried up old mummy. But then, what did we see earlier? We have to inform the police.
Wait. An investigation will be bad for both of us. Who knows what we'll be accused of?
You think we should run away?
If we run now, everyone will think we did it.
Then, what can we do?
We'll have to inform the police eventually.
But then we'll be suspects.
That's why we'll figure it out first. Before the police get here. We'll find the killer and prove it with hard evidence.
Hard evidence, of course.
What happened today? Who did what and where? We have to recall every last detail. There must be a clue somewhere.
Before they even get into the mix of that. Alright, I just need to prove it though.
Where? We have to recall every last detail. There must be a clue somewhere. And when we find the killer, I'm sure we'll find the Tokijiku too.
The victim is Setsu, a collector of strange tales. Her body was found in a locked storeroom in the basement with her throat slit. The murder weapon was probably the blood-stained sword in the mummy's hand.
We caught sight of the mummy around the time of the murder. Aside from the sword, the mummy was also holding the storeroom key.
We have what appears to be a killer mummy. What could be the truth behind this case?
Clues that were missed during the incident phase will automatically be obtained in the read. Okay. An icon in the middle of the left side lights up. Hold down R2 to flashlight is set. Using this will consume one charge and light. Says like what? Icon in the middle of the left side lights up. Hold down L2 for a flashlight set. Using it will consume one charge. That's like what? This is limited inside charges, but you'll recover one charge per 6 created. Okay, so every 6 hypothesis, we'll get a charge back. Alright. So this is where it gets tough. There we go. What was that mummy? Oh yeah, now this should get difficult. Changes in the wind. Correct. Trying to get it to. Oh, wait, accident. Mummy was seen in the basement corridor estate. What could it have been? Okay, so first of all, okay, I see how they're going about this. First of all, let's where was she killed? She was killed in the corridor. Yeah, so we'll go off the rip of that. Oh. No. I was wrong. So. Yeah, if I was smarter, I would have looked at the scene for this.
The door is locked.
We missed the perfect opportunity. I'm sorry. If only I hadn't passed out.
Who's there?
We'll be action item. Yes. Enter. In Ginsaku.
Sure, she's.
Sis! Wait! Is this... blood?
Yeah, I was off. I was off. Yeah, I was wrong about that. Can I? I gotta remember this is going manga way. Yeah, because if she'd have to be stabbed in there, and then the person would have to be dragging like the sword of blood. Because if it was what's the name, it'd be like a bigger like amount of blood there. I was tweaking. Yeah. So we'll worry about that in a second here. First of all, was the mummy. Alright, there we go. Someone as disguised as the mummy. Only wore a mask and was covered in bandages. Cool. Who was with us when we came in here?
Are you sure it's safe to put everything in here?
This door will be locked from the outside, and I'll guard this with the utmost care, so there's nothing to worry about.
Okay, I can see what they mean. Yeah, because nobody. Yeah, okay. So we'll ignore that for now. So it wasn't a living corpse. So, alright, so we'll skip through that for now. So the mummy bandages were not needed. The wooden crate the mummy was filled with rags. Someone used these rags to create a mummy disguise. They then need to undo them bandages from the actual mummy. Because they would obviously be recognized. They won't produce a living corpse. Oh yeah, of course, because you'd be surprised about it being a mummy. Noticing this, someone put on the disguise here. If the mummy we saw in the basement was a disguise, there must have been a purpose to it. Someone wanted to make us think the mummy was alive. Someone made the mummy look like the killer. The mummy we saw in the basement was a disguise. There must have been a purpose to it. Yeah. Someone wanted us to make us think the mummy kills us. Yeah. Cool. I got one part of this done. Everyone gathers in the hall. You're not gonna let me use that yet. Alright. The storeroom was in disarray. When we entered the storeroom, it was already a mess. After killing Setsu, the killer left evidence in the storeroom. They must have ransacked the room to hide that evidence. Yeah. He used the dragon's blood. I know he did. Yeah, I was about to say he used the dragon's blood. The bloodstained sword was to instill fear. Yeah. Red liquid on the sword must have been the dragon's blood. Person disguised as the mummy used it as a diversion. They wanted us to think the mummy had just killed someone. I don't get it. Oh wait, hold on, we got more stuff. Family watching over. I don't think so. So that's who I'm accusing. So one thing at a time here. So that's just the right hand. Who made drink the dragon's blood? Wait, the dragon's blood was one of the auction items. What? Kill must have made Setsu drink it. Why? They wanted to test whether or not it was real. Okay, they capping. That one's a cap. Was used to make bloodstains, yeah. See, that one makes more sense. There we go. Sword was killed. I don't think so. It was one of the auction items. No, we should have something else. Setsu had a cut wound on her neck. Wait, she did? Okay, that makes more sense then. Killer must have used it sword to kill her. Or something else. They wanted to give him the mummy the key. Shiguli gave Setsu the key and told her to return it. But the mummy in the corridor was holding the storeroom key. This would place suspicion squarely on Genzaku. If Genzaku was the killer, he would have taken the key. And then we would have easily figured out it was him, but he didn't. Genzaku gave the key to the storeroom secret. After that, the mummy was seen with the key. Genzaku explained that the key ended up with the killer. He could divert suspicion, which is why he left that scene. I don't think that'd be it though. I don't get it. Use the wooden crate? What about the wooden crate? Okay. What would make you think that, though? Yeah, they bugging with that. Got the key from, okay. She entered the room, ransacked it for some purpose. That's when she was attacked by the killer. Here we go. So somebody banked on that shit? Yeah. Alright. Couldn't bear to part with her own auction on himself. She has making it look like it had disappeared. Okay. Stop private auction. Since his body was found, the items were already vandalized. For her death, perhaps she tampered with them in order to stop the private auction. Dude, perhaps trying to steal items? Okay. Wait, what? That doesn't make sense. Okay. Let's see. In the mummy, we hurried to the entrance hall. Everyone appeared soon after. No one there would have had the time to take off the disguise. No one at the entrance hall could have been the mummy. Okay. Not done yet, though. So the mummy want the fountain of youth. So, Zaku was disguised as the mummy. After seeing the mummy, we hurried to the entrance hall. Zaku was late and could have taken off the mummy disguise. But he was with us. Is that really Masanori with us when we saw the mummy? There's a chance he had a body double as an accomplice. They really, the two switched places while looking for Setsu. Possible. Sound like a lot of work though. I think I almost got everything now. So it wasn't used in disguise. Just still. Oh no, I used all of them. Okay. So I'll make a save file just in case. And then we'll review these one more time prior to this. I'm assuming the yellows are what we know for sure. So off the rip, we gotta cut off. Possibly have to cut that off. So let's see, 24 research here. It's gonna be a tough one.
Well then, let's go through our reasoning. What do you find most unusual about this case?
Yeah, definitely seen a crime. Let's see, of all the mysteries, which do you find most unusual? Yeah, exactly what happened in the store, man. What can you form from that mystery? Phil was trying to hide evidence. But the possibility that's intriguing is knew she was going to tamper with the items in the storage room. So, I would say the fact that they got into a scuffle. Let's see. Auction items in the storeroom have been tampered with. Someone did it on purpose, or was there an explanation? Either way, we need to consider why the storeroom was ransacked. Auction in the storeroom have been tampered with. Someone did it on purpose, or there's another explanation. Yeah.
Well then, let's go through our reasoning. What do you find most unusual
I'm
about this
underthinking this, I
case?
think. What can you form from that hypothesis? Good auction items. Okay, let's... Okay, let's go off of the fact that she maybe wanted to be ageless, right? Hmm. Judging from the bloodstains in the basement corridor and the state of the storeroom, could may have fabricated the crime scene. The real scene of the crime will be critical in this case. Alright, what we got next?
Have you got your thoughts in order?
Yes. The answer must be somewhere within our hypothesis thus far. Excuse me, everyone.
Yes. The auction will be cancelled, of course. Once the police get here, they'll ask many questions, and I must ask all of you to leave.
Please, let me speak for a moment. This is going to be about Setsu's murder. One of us here is the killer, perhaps.
What?
I'll explain what I figured out so far. First...
Wait a minute. Are we to let you play detective? I will not stand to be called a criminal based on some amateur's haphazard guesses.
The killer is among us, you say? There'll be real consequences if you're wrong. But if you're willing to take that risk, so be it. Let's hear you out.
Thank you. First, about the mummy we saw. Right before the auction was to start at noon, Josie and I went to the storeroom. Masanori was there too. That was when we saw the mummy, wielding a blood-stained sword. Or so we thought at the time in our panic. But after some calm reflection, I think it's more likely that... It must have been someone in disguise.
A disguise, huh? That makes sense.
Course. After murdering Setsu, the killer dressed up as the mummy and appeared in front of us.
In that case, whoever wasn't in the lounge when you saw the mummy must be the killer.
Kino, you were the only one in the lounge at that time. The three of us saw the mummy.
Which means...
Wait a minute. Where are you going with this nonsense?
But you're the only one who could have appeared in front of them as the mummy.
Is he the killer?
He's not the killer.
Ginsaku?
He's not the killer.
Ginsaku isn't the killer. Nor was he the person disguised as a mummy.
How can you be so sure? But no one else had the time to dress up like that.
The reason Ginsaku isn't the killer is...
Yep. No time to go with, like, what's the names? Go with actual facts.
Ginsaku isn't the killer. Because the mummy had the key to the storeroom. After discovering Setsu's body, we found the mummy at the end of the corridor. And it was holding the key.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Above all else, Ginsaku didn't want it known that he had lent Setsu the key.
No one can know.
If Ginsaku was the killer, he would never have put the key in the mummy's hand. He would have kept it immediately. Otherwise, he'd be the first person to come under suspicion for this murder.
I see. That's a good point.
Give me a break.
Ginsaku was not the mummy, so who was it? There's only one person who could have been disguised as the mummy. And that's...
Yeah, I'm about to say the one that the entrance saw was the mummy.
There's only one person who could have been the mummy. And that person isn't here now.
What do you mean, isn't here?
I'm referring to the victim. And that would be Setsu.
Nonsense! She was killed before the mummy incident, was she not?
When was Setsu killed? And that's the crux of the matter.
She's killed after.
Setsu was killed after we saw the mummy sometime around noon.
Hold on. Didn't we agree that the murder happened before the mummy incident?
No. We only established that all of us were free to move about before noon, including Setsu.
So, who locked the storeroom door before we saw the mummy?
Setsu did, after she put on her disguise. She disguised herself as the mummy and waited outside the storeroom for us.
Why would she do such a thing?
Setsu went into the storeroom to tamper with everyone else's items, lowering their value while raising the value of her own. She then put on the mummy disguise to make the curse seem credible, thus further increasing the selling price. Buyers love a good backstory, after all.
Ginsaku's mummy, Masanori's sword, Josu's dragon's blood. Setsu staged her living corpse performance using everyone else's items.
After ditching the mummy disguise, she intended to rejoin us and feign complete ignorance.
But then, she was killed.
We know that the mummy was Setsu. Setsu was still alive around noon, which means the murder took place after that. That leaves only one person who could have possibly been the killer. Yes. The person who killed Setsu is...
Had to be him. Because we sent him.
The person who killed Setsu is... you, Masanori. Isn't it? Straight after the mummy incident, we all gathered here in the lounge, didn't we? It was time for the auction to start, but there was no sign of Setsu. That's when you went looking for her, didn't you? You're the only person who was alone. You left the lounge, went to the storeroom, and killed Setsu. Then you took the key from her, locked the storeroom, and dumped the mummy at the end of the corridor. Once all that was finished, you returned to the lounge. Am I right?
When I went to the storeroom, the door was open. I saw her inside, taking off the mummy disguise. The auction items were all irreparably damaged. So I went up to her and demanded an explanation. Without answering, she suddenly lunged at me, and in the ensuing struggle, that sword just what happened after that was just as you said. And you know, I thought no one would suspect me if I made...
I know what y'all thinking. How did I know this? How did Foster Gamma figure this out? I ignored just about everything within this whole case. But if there's one thing I know is the whole locker room trick. Those are like tricks that are always used at all times. So I related any possible theory to that. So that's how I figured out Homegirl was the mummy. And then it was just about figuring out like the murder. So how I did that was I just I realized like, yo, we sent one person to go look for her. Everybody else was together. And that's how I figured it out.
use of Setsu's mummy incident. What I said earlier about researching eternal youth, that was a lie. The truth is, someone hired me to search for the Tokijiku. 3 days ago, I heard about this gathering from Setsu. I came here today in the hope that someone might bring the Tokijiku. I intended to win the bid, but even if I didn't, I was just going to take it by force after the auction. In some dark alley at night.
The Tokijiku is the only item that's still missing. You have it, don't you? That fruit was originally mine. Someone stole it from me.
We can assume that Setsu was a thief. Ginsaku, you knew about it, didn't you?
Please give it back to me.
It's not here anymore.
Huh?
As soon as I got it, I handed it off to my employer's lackey outside the manor.
You're lying! Why didn't you run away after that?
Running away is the same as admitting guilt, is it not? That's why I decided to stay. Still, the plan backfired.
Who hired you? There's no reason to hide it anymore.
I think it was the Scarlet Camellia. That's what the lackey said. I've never met them myself. I don't even know if that's their real name.
Officers from the Metropolitan Police arrived a while later and arrested Masanori Minami. My family has received the Tokijiku from the Sakakis for generations. And every 100 years, during our cherry blossom ceremony, someone would be chosen to eat the fruit. But the Sakakis were attacked and wiped out by forces who wanted the Tokijiku. My family had but one Tokijiku left. And since the massacre, we've kept it hidden so the world would never know of its existence. That was the fruit my father entrusted me with.
Take this and leave this place now.
Huh? My father's health was poor, and he often stayed in his room, but he was always kind to me. On that day, however, he sounded so serious, so grave. And I just couldn't defy his orders. My father often said that people weren't meant to live without growing old. I think he decided to turn his back on the Shijima family when he gave me the Tokijiku. That's why I have to get it back from this Scarlet Camellia character.
But you still don't know a thing about them. Isn't that dangerous?
But I can't give up.
You certainly are stubborn.
My father often said the same thing. I got it from my mother, apparently.
You got it from my mama.
We were separated when I was a baby, so I don't have any memories of her. He only started calling me stubborn after I decided I wanted to be a writer.
A writer?
Yes. I want someone to read the novels I've written, to meet them, and hear about their impressions about my work. That's my dream. But everyone in my family was against it. They told me I should settle down and get married and raise children because the Shijimas are a family of doctors.
Times change. If you're stubborn enough, you'll always find a way.
That's kind of you to say, Josie. But tell me, why are you after the Tokijiku? It's not something most people know about.
Oh wow. I guarantee you,
No,
they won't give me the option.
different. You have one too?
As a prisoner of circumstance, I must keep searching for the Scarlet Camellia while guarding this fruit. The Sakaki family you mentioned, they were destroyed by the Scarlet Camellia. Your father was right. You shouldn't get involved. Eternal youth invites death. Ironic, isn't it? As one who doesn't age, I should know.
What? Wow. I didn't see that coming. That was a toss in the dark.
Uncle Hazen? Josie!
Yoshino!
It was my uncle, Eizan Shijima, and his companion, Toako.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so for you. Holds the real power in the Shijima family? Oh, okay. Yeah, because her pops is gone. Yeah, I'm tweaking.
We've been searching everywhere for you.
Stop right there. You know I don't like it when you smoke.
That's right. Come, let's go back home.
I won't go back!
Your father is worried sick.
You didn't come for me. You want the Tokijiku, don't you?
Wait! Yoshino!
Yeah, she's not gonna be able to get away. She's just going to stay there.
I'm still not feeling well. Chihasi Kusaka. I didn't have a clue who the real person behind that name was. But returning home was out of the question, and I had no one else to rely on.
Respect the gambler. Respect the gambler. Respect the gambler. But yeah, y'all, that's how I figured it out. I figured out that Setsu was the mummy. And then from there, the fact that we sent that guy to go find her, that's what really did it right there. That's how I figured that out. But see what else we got. I think that's it, yeah. Okay, so I'll save here. It's like always, I like to thank y'all for rocking with me, Foster Gamer. And with that, catch y'all. Love y'all. And peace out. Peace out.